Now should be good. Am I more or less live? It's better. Okay, because the thing, the thing is still telling me that it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So I don't know what the hell. So please let me know if I glitch just a little bit. Yeah, sorry about this guy. What? Maybe just the system needs an update or something like that, but that's weird because I'm like connected not through Wi-Fi even, but through Ethernet cable. This is just bizarre. Anyways, weird. But I fixed it, I think, by simply unplugging it and plugging it back in. Hi guys, let's start it over. How is your Friday going? How is your mood for Harry Potter TV series? We have so many new updates from it in general. Sorry, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I don't know if that's the correct word here, but I'm that. I'm just gonna close this and just ignore. You guys excited? Okay, that's good. I'm excited in general because the most that I'm excited about is that we're going to be seeing so much more of Harry Potter, of everything that was not shown in movies, but there's much more in the books. So I'm excited really about that. Yeah, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to check out some footage because they're building a set in England somewhere. Not sure exactly where, but we'll figure it out. There's already a set that they have picked in France where they're going to shoot. Remember the scene where the Dursleys go out camping after the letters? So it looks like they're gonna go there, film. So we're gonna take a look at that. We have some drone footages of where they're building the set currently, and then we're gonna talk about also the trio. So, do I think it will be a series that will become well known? I think so, because, well, Harry Potter is a popular IP, incredibly popular, and an incredibly successful one, too. And regardless of, they will go their own contemporary ways about making things look, sound, etc., the way the spells will look, the way the cast will look, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But in general, Harry Potter has a good story. That is the key to everything, to all entertainment. Thank you, Froggy Nature, for a sub. It's a good story. And so it will go, I think, well, even though it will feel different from how we used to see it in the films, certain scenes, actors, etc. But still, the story, I think people will receive it relatively well because it's good stuff, But yeah, I think also for those of us who grew up with the films, we're gonna have a filter, not a filter, but we will be obviously comparing in our heads to the films, to what we're seeing now. Not now, in the future. You know what I'm saying? So that is going to happen one way or the other. But I told it to myself previously. That was the mindset that I set up, that going into this, I let it be whatever it wants to be. The series, however they are, will accept it as they are, and I will judge them based on what we're going to see. I mean, it's still possible to screw up if the story and if filmed in the wrong way, but I think WB know what they're doing, and I think they're gonna take good care of this. But I didn't finish my thought. But basically, we will always have the films. to be the films, to be the OG Harry Potter content, you know what I'm saying? So we'll always have that. All those actors will always have their legacies there, and I think it's only good that we're gonna have an additional. It's not like the TV series are gonna try to outshine or diminish the success of the films or the actors' performances, etc. It's more about they're just bringing more. They're bringing the story to the new medium, and yeah, it's gonna look different to some extent, but I feel like there will be, they'll go hand in hand. With that, I was just thinking about different stuff. Like, for example, so like, what are they gonna change and what are they going to keep, right? So, for example, my first thing, so like the most iconic thing, well, there are many most iconic things about Harry Potter, but for example, when you turn on the movie, what do you see? You see this awesome WB logo, right? Floating towards you, and it floats away, right? And then the Harry Potter logo comes in and flows like that. My question is, are they going to do it in the same way? Are they going to have the same, feel for it? Or are they going to completely scrap and do some kind of new animation that is not that? Like, what do you guys think? Because I on one hand, I feel like, I don't know, like I would like to keep that because it's like a signature move, right? So I'm really hoping that we'll have, well, I don't know. Yeah, so like, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but for example, you guys tell me if there's any Star Wars stands here. So I know how the movies would start, right? It's the long time far away in the galaxy, we got jumped by these guys, and this, and this happened, whatever, right? So and the text flows. Did the newer films keep that or no? Did they try to somehow keep that same aesthetic of the way the movie starts, like in the old ones? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that will blue. That's well said. Yeah, it's a new chapter definitely for the Wizarding World with with the series, and yeah, they're gonna be as you said, correcting their courses after each season, depending on how people receive things. Yeah, exactly, Becky. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy had that signature floating. It was not in the dark, which was new, kind of, right? But it had that. But at the end of the day, the Hogwarts Legacy logo itself didn't have that. It was just there, right? We just looked at it, and then it disappeared. Remember when? But the WB logo did float in, so they had that to some extent. Just a name. Interesting thought. How they're gonna. So yeah, I cannot highlight your comments because certain things are not working properly right now. But anyways, would you like to show the show to begin with narration and then at the very end do it again, kind of like closing the book? That could be kind of interesting. I don't know, because it doesn't really start as a narration. It's not like in Lord of the Rings, right? Where Galadriel is just like, I feel. What did she say? Oh my God, I'm blanking. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think it will start with that. I think they will jump in directly into the stuffs. But another question is like, how are they going to stretch? Because I'm thinking, when do you think they're going to show Hogwarts? When Harry's going to arrive to Hogwarts? Because at what minute does it happen? Let me just Google real quick. At what minute of first Harry Potter film did Harry arrive to Hogwarts? Well, really? Wow. You dumb. You dumb. Look what it says. Hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. Hold on. It says wrong. I cannot trust AI fully because it does weird stuff. Let me see if it did it. If you guys see this. Oh, okay. Double Ben. Twice as nice. There you go. So it says in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry arrives Hogwarts at approximately 1 hour and 19 minutes, which does sound weird. Like, is that true? And then this is when he and Ron fly at the flying car. See, this is Chamber of Secrets. You put in two things together. Oh my God. Well, whatever. Basically, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to figure out, at which point, like, in which episode are we gonna go to Hogwarts when Harry arrives to Hogwarts? You know, because like there's a lot that's going on at the Dursleys at the Privet Drive, in the book, right? So like, I think my guess is either second episode or the third. Hold on. Let me quickly just look at something. Oh no, I think so. Frog in Nature, I don't think they're going to be cutting out. They will be cutting in the characters because now they have so much more time. Like for example, let me also, yeah, do it like this. Okay, so Harry Potter TV series duration. Set. Okay, I don't trust you. Okay, wow. The whole films take 19 hours. Okay, but that's the films. Oh, 8 hours for one season? That's a lot. Just a name? I think so too. So because I feel like they will try to be ending each episode with a little bit of a cliffhanger, right? So I think the first episode, what we're gonna see is all the spiel at the Dursleys. Then he's doing magic stuff. Then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna lock you up." He's trying to receive a letter. Then they get bombarded by the letter. Then they go to wherever they go, and I think that's where we'll end before Hagrid arrives. I think because in terms of like the arc of the first episode, major stuff happened and they took drastic measures, but hope has arrived, and that's Hagrid. We know that that's hope, but someone just banging on the door, right? Breaks in, and I think that's the cut. And I think the second episode will be about introduction. Oh, you're a wizard, Harry, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe in the first episode, they're going to say, you're a lizard, Harry. And then they move on. And then the second episode is going to be about going to Diagon Alley, hanging out there, figuring stuff out, maybe having some flashbacks, and then traveling, going on the train. The train ride is going to be there. Then they arrive at Hogwarts. And maybe right before arriving to Hogwarts, that's the second episode ends, or like before the ceremony, somewhere around that time. I feel like. But we're going to have so much time, like 8 hours. That's insane compared to an hour and a half ish, close to 2 hour movie. That's insane. Okay, so Becky, thank you. You did a better AI job research, or maybe not AI, but thank you. So it is 38 minutes um into the first film when we arrive at Hogwarts. That makes more sense than an hour and a half that it said before. Because like what? That's like pretty much the fourth quarter of a movie. Anyways, so yeah, look. That makes sense because if each episode I feel like would take roughly from 35 to like 40, I think 45 minutes is a safe bet for each episode. Close to an hour. Maybe some episodes will go longer. Maybe the first episode is going to be actually like an hour and a half or so, or maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And then the rest episodes are going to be kind of shorter because the first episode will be the pilot. So that will make sense. Yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Like seeing from the new perspective how they're gonna shoot it. Well, by the way, how about we jump into looking at stuff? So, and I forgot to mention the name. Someone mentioned this in the beginning that you feel uncomfortable. Lives are not your common thing. Hey, we're just hanging out here. And this stream, by the way, guys, yes, we're gonna talk about this. But mostly I just want to hang out with y'all because I haven't done it in a long while. And so whenever I come up with different thumbnails and topics about how to name the stream, it's just because I really cannot think of, I'm just trying to find an excuse to hang out with you. But that's the main goal. Anyways, so this channel, I don't know if you guys are familiar, Wizarding World Direct, they cover different stuff. And they actually have a ton of footage. They found... and so that's what we're going to be exploring. I'm going to search. Oh, here's, by the way, Arabella Stanton. This is Hermione. Hold on. Let's... she played somewhere in... previously. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Quick thinking. Let me rearrange certain things. Oh, wait. Am I going to hear this? Yes.
You're looking for the post office, aren't you?
How did you know that?
You've circled the block a few times, so you're obviously lost. If I'm investigating a missing person, I started the post office to see if they registered an emailing address. Except our post office collapsed about a month ago, and they haven't updated the online coordinates. I could show you if you ask nicely.
I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty accurate, Hermione. Just these nosy, I know it. Yes, I'm perfect. I am the AAAA student. Blah, blah, blah. I think this is perfect casting. Did you guys hear it? Because I don't know if you guys heard what I just played, but I think you did. I think that's perfect. I think that's phenomenal. I want to see the rest of the kids. This is, I think, wrong. Oh, no, that's a potential kid for Malfoy. It's too young, though. Dylan, while we're on topic, could you tell us your favorite Hogwarts Legacy mods? Not dungeons. Okay. I like spell mods. A lot. I don't remember all the authors because there's quite a lot. But combined together, I like the one that brings Prosega Diabolica, Fiendfire, Wait, Dylan, are you the modder? Are you one of the modders? Are you one of the mod authors? Because yeah, there's a couple that I have installed are made by Dylan something. No, okay, never mind. Yeah, I like the spell mods, but yeah, I think this is great.
You're
Hermione,
looking for the post office, aren't you?
How did you know that?
You've circled the block a few times, so you're obviously lost. If I'm investigating a missing person, I started the post office to see if they registered an emailing address. Except our post office collapsed about a month ago, and they haven't updated the online coordinates. I could show you if you ask nicely.
But it's like, so here's another thing that it's kind of difficult thing to do because when casting kid actors, hold on one second. My dog wants something. What do you want? What do you want? It's not the time. It's not time for the walk. Get out of here. What do you want? What do you want? Go a little bit. Go. Good boy. Okay. So, what I was going to say. So it's tough to cast kid actors because you're only, making the call on their personality as they are as a kid, right? But the problem is you cannot predict how they're going to behave, how they get, well, sometimes how they're going to look like fully when they grow up, right? How they're going to look like, it's one thing that's more or less predictable, but about personality, voice, etc., that changes, and it's also about like being a kid actor. It's like, because when you grow up, it's a different type of acting, period. It is differently performed from how adults act, because it goes to, the bottom line is the kids haven't lived a life yet in terms of the methods that adults use and how they work with roles and how they prepare for the roles. It's when they create characters, they more embody the characters, if that makes sense, and they actually live into them using different methods. But with kids, it is more like act. Well, it's all an act. It's all a lie. But it's hard. How do I just describe it? It's like it is more about them repeating lines in the exact way how the director told them to say the lines, but they themselves don't really get that they have to speak that way. You know what I'm saying? That it's very difficult working with kid actors that way. That's why. So you find a kid who by default behaves like the character you have right in the screen. So you get the kid that in their everyday life already talks like that. So their default already comes off as Hermione, Harry, whatever. But then as they, so it's a different type of acting. But then, just a name. It's like, it's kind of is about memorizing lines because they're kids. It's hard to explain, but it's a real thing. And so the challenge then also becomes, as the kids grow older, their personalities and self-awareness comes to fruition. And then they might find themselves where they're like, well, acting doesn't seem like my thing at all. It's like, well, cool. I look like and I acted like, behaved like the character they wanted me to portray as a kid. But now as I grow up, I'm not that kid anymore. And, the acting isn't really in my core. And so that's then becomes a different issue. And I think we've seen that to some extent in with the films as well. So it's, yeah. And it's just a name. So it's not like, oh, they're not doing a performance. Yes, they are doing a performance. But again, it is a different approach completely with kid actors. And so, yeah. Because if you look at the behind the scenes of the first two movies, how they were like the kids are just having fun at school. They pulling up jokes. They're laughing all the time. The majority of takes that Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they were just repeating lines over and over again in a specific way. And Chris Columbus was just like, do it slightly this way and this way. And in between takes and with takes, they were just laughing constantly. To them, this was just a play. Just, they're having fun. It wasn't about, getting in the characters per se, like they were, but it was they weren't in a different headspace as kids rather than when, adult actors are and in what headspace they are when they are performing a role. So it's going to be a challenge. And that's what I'm talking about. That's where the challenge is when casting kids. And specifically when you not only casting them now they look the part and play the part, right? Because they already cast them. But then you don't know if they're going to do that when they grow up. And that's the challenge, because we're going to be seeing, they're not just going into a movie. We're going to see their lives for however long the series will last, right? Because they will have to capture all that growing up. Hey, Support Crow, how's it going? How is your Friday? Well, it is. Well, maybe it is pure. I don't know. They're just in for most part they're just being themselves, and when they're being serious and when they're being, their dramatic moments, they're very orchestrated to do it that way. But as soon as it ends, they're like, "Yay, I'm done. Let's go play outside." It's not exactly that, but kind of. Anyways, I promise you the footage. So it's somewhere around here. Let's scroll down. Hold on. La 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 la. But yeah, I think so. My only, and again, it's just based on what we had before and looking now, and on the behind the scenes footage that we've seen before. So my only, I think Hermione is perfect. Ron is perfect. I think, well, with Ginger, he has, but remember in Harry, and what Chris Columbus said about Dan Radcliffe is that the kid had this haunting look in him. So he's a kid, but his default stance was he has seen some shit before, he has the past of not necessarily an adult, but he's been through a lot. And so that's what he was talking about. He had that haunting look. And that fit perfectly because, Harry grew up without parents. He's tormented by Dursleys. He's bullied all the time. And so he's this, kind of quiet, kid with a piercing gaze. And and looking at this kid, I gotta double check. I'm just seeing a smiley dude who just got an Xbox. Honestly, yay, it's my birthday. So I'm not quite getting that haunted vibe, but this is just a picture. We haven't seen clips of him or anything. So, and Harry and Dan Radcliffe was pretty smiley and laughy on set as well. So this is just one side that we're seeing right now, but that's my feedback. That's my couple of coins about this, about the casting. Honestly, I feel like, let me quickly get their names. I already forgot. Alistair is Ron. Arabella is Hermione, and Dominic. Okay, Alistair. So I feel like he has quote unquote more haunting gaze than Dominic. Maybe the kid will bring more sassy side. Dominic gives me, what's his face from Stranger Things? 9/11 for sure. But for example, 11 has very haunting gaze, and I think 11 would be perfect for the role of Harry. But that, but yeah. So I think. Sorry, I'm just I'm talking in very almost intense way. Gotta chill. Yeah, I think he has a bit more haunting gaze. And because he probably, again, they're kids. They can be shy in front of the camera. They're shy, oh my God, there's so many people. Blah, 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 this is happening, right? So I'm getting that a little bit. And I think that also fits Ron a little in a way, right? But yeah, those are my few takes. Haunting gaze, they're all smiling. Well, maybe there's some haunting about this smile. Yeah. Original book cover? You mean? One second. I think we had a post. You mean this one? This one is terrifying. Those book covers were always freaking me out. But I think this is Chamber of Secrets, right? Oh, so also the author of Wizarding World Direct was wondering if they're gonna change the scar, because in the films it's to the side, right? But in the books, it's just right in the middle of a forehead. Goblet of Fire? Never mind. Never mind. Well, yeah, that's right. Okay, let me find the footage. This is also, hold on. Looks like Arabella in some performance. Just FYI. Oh, this is not a picture of Alistair. He looks way different from the other picture. Maybe it's the hair, but it looks way different. Hermione. 1 second. Okay, so here, remember, see how I was talking about? The Harry Potter series is said to be filmed in France in Bretagne. The actual film has been underway on the Isle de Seine for the past 5 days. That was posted May 24th, so last week. Well, this week, last week, whatever. The Lighthouse. So yeah, that they were filming already. Wow, they were already filming this? So they were fast. Because this is, unless they're filming some prequel, or they're just filming exterior shots and stuff like that. But it looks like if, we're getting information while things are already well underway, But yeah, this is the place. And it looks, that's where they go. Just rocky island in the middle of nowhere. Which I think is pretty cool. What's the second picture? Oh yeah, never mind. You guys want to find out where that is? I want to find out. I want to have, where is Bretagne? Let me just copy paste that. Let me go to maps. Oops. France. That. So this is general area, but it's one of those rocky islands, I guess. How about this? No, this is too much. All right, never mind. I thought it was like the name of the island. Not Brittany, you... Well, that's maybe Brittany, but that's spelled in French. All right, well, whatever. So it's somewhere there. Cool. Oh, by the way, hold on 1 second. Do you guys need music, or do you find being kind of quiet? Because I'm fine either or. You guys let me know. That too, I could have. The first thing I also thought about the place where Harry and Dumbledore go, but that's way too early for that. Way too early, unless they're planting some. Maybe they want to connect the two. Maybe that's where the cave is. Who knows? Kids stay sane. Yeah, it's going to be a learning curve for sure, but they'll get by. I think they're going to be fine. Of course, social media has different effects, but they're going to have the help of therapists. They're going to have, physicians, etc. They will still have their school, even though they're going to be filming, because that's how it was done during the filming of Harry Potter, unless they're filming mostly through summer. But yeah, it's gonna be a different experience from the rest of the kids, but they're gonna be fine, I think. Okay, next. That's not the only set that we know. That is underway. Okay, so here's the drone footage. What? Of many things. Okay, so this is different. So this looks like platform 9 3/4. What? I didn't know that that was a... It's a little bit potato-y, but hold on, let me start over. There looks like it could be train tracks. So everything, not everything, but I think a lot of things are going to be sets. I don't really know that. Okay, what material? What do we got here? Just bricks, arched stuff. Well, King's Cross has some arched stuff. Interesting. Well, that's just the huh. What we got here? Okay. Different more arches. This is just parts of the skeleton that's going to be inside, but they could give some clues. Il Desane? That's what it said? Okay. We'll check it out before. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Il Desane. Huh? Aha! Hello. There she is. Thank you, guys. That's the lighthouse. No, although this doesn't look rocky. That's the lighthouse, but it looks different from the picture. But good try. Maybe one of the rocks. Who knows? Maybe one of those, like, what about here? No pictures here, dude. Nothing here. The Google car didn't end up going there. All right. Nowhere here. Just water. Cool. Well, it's not it. All right. Interesting. So they're building 9 3/4, which makes sense. That we need right off the bat. But also what they're building is Privet Drive, which is still more shots. Oh, wait. So, and you said it's being built to Harry Potter the series. What could it be? So that was an earlier post. I couldn't tell what it was, but it was building next to the House of the Dragon set, which I think is this. I'm not following House of Dragons. After the Game of Thrones, I was like, I don't want to care anymore. And so that's the only reason I'm not watching it. Yeah, I think that this is just the Game of Thrones stuff. Okay. Moving now down. Okay, guys, are you going to this? I really want to freaking go. Okay, so new pick from the set of Harry Potter TV series. Something. They're building something. Can't tell what it is, but there's more. We'll see the actual Privet Drive. All right, so this is Privet Drive being built on video. Blah, blah, blah. Better overview of the street and its various houses. Harry Potter TV series. So this is the actual drone footage as a video. Go big. But we'll have some pictures as well. Yeah, see? Okay, like those houses, that's definitely like, yeah. Yeah, they're not using real sets. I mean, it's still cool. Well, what I love is that at least they're using the real stuff. They're building sets. That's great. It's a lot of work. A lot of money goes into this. But it's not like everything is literally green screen. This looks old for Privet Drive? What do you mean? I mean, those houses have. Was there ever a full description of exactly? I'm pretty sure there was because JK likes to describe a lot. But I mean, it gives a hint also of the what's it called? The Godric's Hollow, you know, but a bit newer. Yeah. Well, if you remember, there's some repetition. Which, by the way, I think they're gonna build one way or the other. There's gonna be so much effects happening, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just a common practice. So they build this little area, and then they're gonna have a few, just like a couple of real houses. The rest is gonna be like copy pasted in post, because I don't think they're gonna build the entire town. A good shot of that is also in Chamber of Secrets. You see all those houses, and there they look very copy pasted. To be fair, they look exactly identical, which I don't think is like. Well, no, there are areas where looks exactly they look copy pasted, but I feel like some difference is still. Like in Prisoner of Azkaban, I think all the houses look a bit more different from one another than in the first films. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm just saying that it gives a vibe of the Godric's Hollow, but it's definitely the prototypes. It's just the pictures in better quality. Can we zoom in? Question mark. No, it does. It readjusts, but you guys can zoom in on the phone. Which house do you think will be Harry's house? Because one of them will have to be the actual set inside. Because I believe a few of them will be. Wait, do you think this is the entrance to the zoo right here? Well, the zoo wasn't right there, no. But what is this? Because this, there's a street. It's a cul-de-sac. Is that the right word for this? For the round thingy? And then I'm pretty sure there are going to be houses built there. Or not. And then what is this? Kind of where it's a T crossroad. And so they're going to have a backyard over there and then another set of houses to block the so yeah. So I think my guess is that they're going to be right in the middle. You get better shots that way. If they're not going to build more to the left and right of the back houses, right? Then if you film it in the backyard, you have stuff more or less covered on left and right. That's my guess. It is a zoo. Do you think a zoo? Well, because like they may in the film, it will seem like it's far away, right? Like in the film, we will not see the zoo right across the street. In the film, we will see more of the Privet Drive, and that's just the movie magic. But location wise, they're just building it right here, and I think that makes sense that that's the zoo, like the way it is, because the building on the left and the right, they're probably not. They say they have completely different roofs. I think this is actually they're building the zoo area here, where maybe there's some restaurants, some like a clubhouse, not a clubhouse, but like I don't know, like something that would be next to a zoo in the center of a town, rather than a private, like regular houses area. Yeah, because these roofs are way different from the one across the street, and because they're in most situations they're probably not going to have to film looking this way. It's more about looking that at the same time. Because we're gonna have a scene of Dumbledore arriving and Hagrid. They're gonna place Harry on the thing. That's a good question, Becky, because they're gonna. Okay, so this is one thing, building this and this is sets. But my biggest question is, are they gonna keep the same aesthetic of Hogwarts? Are they gonna keep the same silhouette, same outlook, or completely new redesign that will look nothing like the films? Because, oh, by the way, well, I think this was just a reference picture right here of what they're trying to build, you know, based on the thing. Or maybe that's this is also a picture, but I don't think so. This looks too complete. Oh, they did say that, just a name? Okay, well, that's good, because at the end of the day, they did use, you know, this is their official teaser, and they have the outlook with stupid Deathly Hallows bridge that leads out to nowhere. Sorry, it's not stupid. I'm just like, you only changed it for filming logic. Anyways, but it looks like the silhouette will remain. Cool. Good to know. There's more pictures right here. Okay. So maybe that's not even the house. Oh, keep in mind, see, like some houses, like probably that zoo house, or maybe that's not a zoo. I don't freaking know, but I think it might be the zoo. That's just the entrance. Some of these houses, all of these houses will be empty and hollow inside. Only the main one will probably have interior and fully designed and stuff like that. Because I have Universal lot. I see it pretty much every day, and that's how they do. Like majority of the houses that they have different streets. They have New York, France, you know, some like even Mexican towns, Spanish towns that are like more deserty. And in some places those sets, the buildings, they're hollow, or like from one side they look they're totally legit, but they are actually like, I don't know, 6 feet wide. It's just like almost like a wall that you can put some lighting inside. You can still go inside, but it's just makes it look that this is a real thing, but it's not. So many films are filmed there, and also in Warner Brothers backlot. This is interesting, but I was about to say something. Yeah, they so for where, well, I don't know. On one hand, it would make sense to do that. It's easier. So two options. They're building the set and they're only going to use the exterior. But no, that doesn't make sense. And like film at someone else's property, but I don't think that makes sense. I think it's a better idea if they're building already this, they build one house, not all of them. All of them will be just the facade, but not inside. It will be very hollow, no furnishing, not even walls, just like the sticks, you know, the skeletons of the structures. But only one. I think they're gonna build one house, because that way they're gonna have much more flexibility to have everything on set. Which now I'm thinking, if they're building this here, the Privet Drive, where they're going to be building Hogwarts, or are they going to quickly film stuff here, then destroy it, and then build Hogwarts? Or there's Hogwarts being built already somewhere. And now my question, what if they're going to build in Universal? No, they're not going to build in Universal. I don't think they will ever do that. I just thought about it. But like to shut down a whole park for filming, that will be insane. It will be that's never going to happen. Universal is going to lose so much money from, well, yeah, still it's going to lose a lot of money if they're going to do that. Oh, definitely, Becky. Yeah, there will be a huge green screen, a blue screen, I think on the perimeters. So I watched so much of the behind the scenes. Like, I'm a film geek when it comes to that. I love like this part is just like, oh my God. So I followed so really closely the development of The Hobbit, even though, the films will, people feel different about it, but just like the whole process of how it was built, it's so amazing. There's like tens and tens of hours of how things everything is brought to life. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to be part of it so much. But that is in New Zealand, and now this is in England, and I want to be in it, but this is really cool. So, but I got off track. And The Hobbit, there was a parking lot basically where they built the not Forbidden Forest, the Mirkwood in The Hobbit, and some other sets as well. And they covered buildings, tall buildings with blue or green screens. Typically, you can use blue for stationary sets like this because not a lot of things are going to be moving. Hey, Yoko, how's it going? Welcome. And Cindy also. Sorry, by the way, guys, I didn't say hi to all of y'all personally. Yeah, behind the scenes is so cool. Interesting. I think there's another shot. So this is, again, another perspective. So they have a huge area. See those blue beams? I think that's where they're building the platform 9 3/4, I think. Or unless that whole platform, the blue structure, is mobile. I mean, I think everything is mobile because this is a set. This is a location where they build sets. And I think they have their own strategies and methods, the way they quickly bring new locations to life, tear them down, and then repurpose. This is a different look. Yeah, they will cover stuff for sure. For sure. Yeah, and look, because like we don't. This is so based on the style they are choosing for the buildings, it is different. Because here it is a bit more modern. Here it's a tiny bit old school, but that's what we see a lot of that in old houses, but they're just refurbished and look modern and stuff. Okay, good question, just a name. Do you think they will make spin-offs in their own HBO universe or also take into account Fantastic Beasts and such? I'd much rather they start over making it. Yes, about Fantastic Beasts, better start over. But I would love to see it. I hope they will eventually have spin-offs and isolated shows about different things that come out of Harry Potter. I mean, ideally, I just want them to go in the future, go past Harry Potter. I mean, yeah. I really hope so. That's why also I want this to do well, so it continues not just the series, but there are spin-offs as well. Hey, David, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And I think that's all the pictures of the sets in particular that we have. Maybe let me just double check. Just random posts and stuff. Yeah, I think this is it. But yeah, from this picture, I'm just going to pull up if this is... I want to find that structure. Uh-oh. Going wrong direction. There's another picture of how... Yeah, so this is a neighborhood. This is what they're trying to replicate. It looks different from the original films, but it still checks out, And I like the style. I really like this. And it still has the same. Inside, it will be very similar, I think. It's just different types of, outer walls, the design, and the roof types. But you still have these huge windows for the living rooms and dining rooms. Probably there's like a little gazebo at the end, as better seen in Prisoner of Azkaban. But platform 9 3/4. What's that? One second. I think that's there's a concept art, but I just want to find. There you go. Yeah, so this is not up close to this, unless the picture was taken from the other side, and the sound stage, the one that's seen in the previous shot, is actually right here. So I think this is the same, or not. Sorry, I'm being very confusing because we had a video. Oh yeah, no. Just want to see this again. Yeah, they moved this thing. Because this thing was right by the soundstage, right there, kind of. Oh yeah, another thing. The construction of Hogwarts, we may not see, it might not be outside, and probably won't be outside because it's a very unique location around it. So Hogwarts may partially be built inside the sound stages, which in one of those things. Yeah, you know what? I think that would be a lot. It would make sense. Don't you guys think? Assortment of doors. Okay. Wow. I want to find the assortment of doors. Give me a second. Watch again. Scaffolding. Scaffolding. This is scaffolding. At which? When did you see it? Doors. Yeah, see those planks? And see that? They are definitely building. Maybe oh, dude. You know what? That would actually, I think, make a bit more sense. This could be Diagon Alley, because see how this is not. Yeah, wait a second. See how narrow that street is? There's stuff over here. This goes in a crooked way. This actually might be Diagon Alley. Well, just a name. I will address the part about aesthetics and different vibes. The change of the vibes and the tones of the films came mostly from the change of the crew and the change of director specifically. Each director was bringing something of their own. And so Cuarón brought his stuff. He did it his own way. He saw the story through his lens, and that's what he told. My dog just literally kicked the back of the couch really hard. I don't know if you saw it. No, you didn't see it. Never mind. And also David Yates brought different stuff. And also with David Yates, the films are made pretty much the same to some extent, from Order of the Phoenix to Deathly Hallows Part 2. With some having way too much of desaturation and having the tones, but overall they were similar. So I think it comes down to the director. And but I think story-wise, the world does get darker for Harry because Voldemort then comes back, and so things change a lot. But I don't know if Prisoner of Azkaban season will become much, much darker, because I think things go absolutely south when Cedric dies and in Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix, to me, actually, makes more sense to be more moody, be more dark than Prisoner of Azkaban, honestly. But I still love how Prisoner of Azkaban is kind of dark, and it's darker, right? And I think it's literally my favorite Harry Potter film. But for example, I think Goblet of Fire is very colorful because, you know, sometimes you have those images of, memes comparing, like showcasing the films. Like the first two are bright and colorful, and the rest are just dark. I disagree. I think it is first two are colorful, then the third one is dark. The fourth one is colorful again, and then the rest are dark. It was the Cedric death and the fact that Voldemort is now back. So, bam. So I think that will be the turning point of things going absolutely much and more darker. So I think Prison of Azkaban is going to be a bit brighter, if that makes sense. Okay, so I still want to find the doors near the scaffolding that you've mentioned. Thanks, Cindy. Have a good one. Appreciate for hanging out. Lorenzo, I would love if you could specify again. Center left. Center left. Oh, okay. Oh, I see the doors. Right there. There's a white one, blue one, and more, and there's an arched one. Huh. And also, if you look bottom here, the bottom, see panels? They have holes. There are many panels there with different holes, and right here too. They're all just the skeletons of the different shops, I think, as part of the Diagon Alley. They're going to need a lot of those. They're just going to place it. And see how narrow these are? This is the set. So like from inside, look like, oh my God, there's big buildings there. But no, they're just this wide. And like this, I think right here would be the Gringotts. I think it would make sense. Look, it's just the Diagon Alley. They come over here somewhere and then boom. But I would think they would expand it a little bit. Maybe for the Chamber of Secrets, they will have to expand with Nocturne Alley, and stuff. But yeah, this actually makes more sense to be a Diagon Alley. That over there what they're building right there makes more sense to have 9 3/4 because you have a very long, straight, big, naked soundstage, right? That is the 3/4, and those doors definitely gonna. Go away. What else do you see? I don't see anything extra special. Because like I can totally see train tracks over there. I mean, there are no train tracks yet. But look, they're digging a hole. Is that a hole? Yes, that's like a canal. And that's what you need for the trains, right? That looks like it's going to be the train tracks. It went zoomed in for a second there. More doors. Well, look regular though, kind of. Some of them. And of course, they're going to be painted later, probably. Well, at least two of them are the same. These ones kind of look the same. Because they will need variety in Diagon Alley. What else? Just regular stuff. Wood blanks. Yeah, I really think, see that big soundstage over there? The one that could like 3 together? I think Hogwarts is being built there. Yeah, these arched, see like the way these windows look? This is the facade. This part will look inside, the opposite side will be outside, but they will put like actual like tiles, other wood planks that will decorate it from outside. But the arched part about it makes me more think that this is more wizard, suited inside the wizarding world, more whimsical, more old, right? Yeah, exactly. Well, because to train tracks, they have to also make it whole. Because I think they're gonna use the actual train car to film in, and they will make a new. Okay, let's see if they're bringing any materials that look like part of Hogwarts in here. I really think this soundstage T. See the name, the SCT. That's where Hogwarts is because it's one of the biggest one, and it not necessarily will be like one same thing. It's going to be separate sets because all it's indoors. The classrooms, courtyards, the Great Hall. It will be not built with a roof and everything. Maybe the facade will be mostly green screen. It's a very likely scenario. But all the different Hogwarts interiors and partially exteriors are going to be there. Because that way it's much easier to control the lighting inside the castle, rain, thunder, whatever you need, all kinds of effects. It's much more flexible to do it indoors. Outside for Privet Drive, it's regular world, Muggle world, so things will look more natural. With lighting. Okay, thank you. No, I think that's just part of the sound stages, those arches. This is really interesting. What's going on there? Oh, that's the Game of Thrones one. That's the Game of Thrones set over there. Where is this exactly? I want to find out where the location of this is. Do you know? I think they've... Okay, the concept. So, concept arts from the Harry Potter TV series that apparently leaked. Take this with a grain of salt, but the site has correctly leaked some other things. Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster Oblivion. Okay. This may or may not be the legit concept art for the TV series. And honestly, it's like a mix between Hogwarts Legacy, the Great Hall, and the films. I agree also, Amelia. It looks very AI. Look at their faces. But the truth is, some concept art looks AI as well. But I think actually you're right. I think this is very well, I don't know. Because even if it was concept art, why there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different shits and giggles over there? You know, it's supposed to be 4 main columns at least. Same thing. What is this? Like, what is this? Yeah, well, this is different, but yeah, you know what? I think this is just some AI. Huh? Maybe someone just generated. I don't know, but it could be real too. This looks like a Gryffindor meets Ravenclaw common room. It doesn't look like it's inside of a tower at all. Okay. It's where you can figure out if it's AI or not. You just look at their hands. If they have extra or missing fingers, it's AI. It's hand. It's always the hands is the most. This one is less AI, I'll say. This is supposed to be. This looks more like the French one. If this is concept art. Fine wands since 382. And this actually looks like the French square, the one from Fantastic Beasts. rather than Diagon Alley. But maybe this is. Go away. Where did you come from? Student lockers. Yeah, well, good question. Did they ever mention it? Yeah, maybe this is just very AI. Maybe that's just a safe, like your storage unit. Yeah, you know what? I think these might be just AI. AI and as if. Right, someone talking about Peeves appearing. Yeah, I want to find the location of the set because I think the author of this page has mentioned it once. Okay, let's see. This guy reported this. It's all about what? Oh, okay. That's a House of Dragon set, close to the Harry Potter one. You know what? I'm gonna follow this guy because it looks like his or her thing. Okay, there's Harry Potter. Definitely not the Great Hall. I don't. No. It wouldn't make sense to have it outside. Yeah. Oh, another picture where you see a little bit of a privet drive right there to the right. Okay. Well, we've seen that before. Where is it? House of Johnson 3. Okay. Who this? Avengers. House of Dragons. House of Dragon. Okay. I think this is the other side of the Diagon Alley. That's where the other part, the crooked part was, and this is where Gringotts will be? Question mark. It's very interesting. Supergirl. Do you guys, anyone watch that? I'm not much into DC comics. I don't like Batman. Oh, there's the same one, but on YouTube. Okay. Actual people walking. People working. Huh. It's the same one. All right, never mind. I wonder if this thing knows. Harry Potter TV series film set location. Levsden. Okay. It's the WB Studios in Levsden. Okay, cool. Well, are you sure it's all here? Hold on, give me okay, so it is okay. Makes sense. So this is the main the triple guy. So they're building it kind of 1 second. I'm trying to understand their backlot here. I think this is like kind of like the privet drive, right? And towards this is where the train tracks is, but I think this isn't accurate. Maybe it is, maybe early stages of it. Who knows? But no, actually looks something like very different. Yeah, this is old stuff. But yeah, basically they tore this down, this whole area looks like, and it's now all for Harry Potter. And then House of Dragons is to another area. Interesting. Professor Quirrell. Wait, we already have Quirrell, right? Cast? Boat scene for the... Right. That's a good question. Is that going to be on set of some kind of lake? Or I think that's easier to go into a lake, put kids in the boats, make sure they don't drown, make sure the boats don't drown. And then you put castle in post. But another thing, they can actually make a little bit part of the lake and build the first facade of it. But that would be so much more difficult to do, specifically for that one shot. I mean, they did it in the lake, right? Okay. Where lake scene Harry Potter 1 filmed? Lake scene Harry Potter also where students approach Hogwarts was filmed at Loch Shiel in the Scottish Highlands. Okay, so it was an actual lake. See? So if they were able to pull that off perfectly with a real lake back then in 2000s, or well, pre-2000s while filming, I think today they can do it too. There's a video. Okay. No, it says it's a lake, but I cannot trust this thing fully. Loch Morar. Cool. It wouldn't be only depressing, it would be also very, very tragic. So let's hope everything goes smooth. Just gonna scroll a little bit. Dude, but this is really cool. I'm so excited. For the seeing how the locations are built, that is the best stuff for me. I love doing that, just having sneak peeks like this. So much fun. It's just like, I really hope... Oh, this is a different shot. Hello? Of the zoo. But honestly, now I take my words back. This is not the zoo. The facade is just like the others. It's just a unique house with a double entendre. Boy, these roofs. Maybe they're just doing it for the sake of having not everything look exactly the same. Right? So I think, hold on one second. The Conjuring 2 location street. Okay, it was different. Never mind. Because like where I thought like maybe they could film where this was. That was kind of cool. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? You guys seen? I love The Conjuring. Because look at these houses. They're just like, yeah, that scene. Can I see it better, bigger, stronger? Yeah, see the street? I think they're building, because see the front yard is much shorter here than in the original film, I think. So what they're building is it's kind of a version of this type of street, but in the style, more this, what is this style named? Yeah, two semi-detached houses. Yeah, there you go. Or maybe a clubhouse, you know, like a do people have that in England? Because in Ukraine we don't. That's not a European thing, I don't think, to have a clubhouse of a community. We just have houses, and then that's it. If you want to go to a pool, you got to find a place where there's a pool and pay money to go there. But in United States, that's kind of cool. If you live in a community, you always have a clubhouse with TVs, games, grills, whatever, pool areas where you can hang out with your neighbors and whatnot. Also, I'm thinking that, so that cul-de-sac right there, I think somewhere around there they could build the playground. It could be interesting if they could establish the playground, because then we see it later on, right? In the Order of the Phoenix. So if they could establish that particular playground in the first one, and then it resurfaces later, that would be cool. No, because it's not private drive. It is private drive. I think it's not private drive. I think it's private drive. But I might be wrong, but I believe that's how you say that, the drive. Dude, I love these movies. The first and the second one. The third one was like, well. And there's going to be the last one. Sorry, we're going to different franchise. But I would love where would Harry Potter meets The Conjuring somehow. Like take James Wan and make him do a spin-off about Azkaban. Yo, that would be sick. It could be like the series, you know, like the American Horror Story, The Hotel. Just that, but it's about Azkaban. The story is pretty much also the song "The Hotel California." It's almost like Azkaban wasn't a hotel, but I think it could make a fun story and fun project. That would be really interesting to see. Oh, this Godric's Hollow. Well, Godric's Hollow is a very, well, at least that's the way it looked in the old, not the old, in the films, but it looked very, very, very suburban. No, suburban. Yeah. Suburban and very, very old type of house, because they were like kind of whimsy, like crooked. Oh my god, that would be cool. Maybe we could do a spin-off. It's like hunting ghosts, but in the wizarding world. That would be cool. Almost like Ghostbusters, because you see them ghosts like normally. I like that. Okay, well, we found where the set is located. It's near London. That's where we're filming. Oh my god, I want to go there so bad. But oh well. Another picture, the same picture. Bodies. Wow. What else? Just checking if he posted, if they posted. Anything more about Harry Potter? Doesn't seem like. But this is quite interesting. But I don't. Yeah. So, did you guys hear also that at the moment they're pushing the release of the series to 2027? Yeah. So I saw a post somewhere that they are like it's not 26, it's 2027. Which, by the way, I think would align perfectly with the timing, with the supposed timing of when Hogwarts Legacy would come out. Hogwarts Legacy sequel would come out. Because I think 2027, 2028, that's a reasonable time to think when we're going to be getting that. And that would be great to see both of those things coming out in a tandem. Yeah, also, better not rush. Also, now I'm thinking, if they're going to take their sweet ass time, they might film season 1 and 2 back to back. Because those kids, they grow so fast. That's the thing. They're right now like this, they're little kids. The next thing you know, they're tall as hell. You know, it happens in 3 months. I remember that because I remember like back in my school years, I remember I was like 3rd or 4th grade or something like that, where I said goodbye before summer break. My friend was like, "Yay, hi, hello, what happened? Hello, hello. Oh, never mind. Sorry." Yeah, it was like, "Yay, hi." I come back to school and he's like freaking tall as hell. So that's what I remember. That's the same thing with them. So I think they're gonna film first and second back to back. In the third, they might take a bit longer. A little bit longer. I think that's still a long time. I think 11 years old. The students at Hogwarts are being sent at 11 years old, and these kids, I believe, they look like maybe even a bit younger, but I think they cast them like as they're 9, 10 years old, and so they grow in. So they're thinking smart and ahead of time for when they're going to be filming, so it all matches. Hold on, there was an interesting thing. This one, who still need to be cast? So we only have the trio. We have Dumbledore, McGonagall, Snape. We don't have Flitwick. We have Hagrid. We have Quirrell, who's only first season only, and Argus Filch, right? So we still have a lot. We don't have Dursleys. We don't have the classmates, Malfoys. None. No other Weasleys. Only one Weasley. Oh, now it would make. I think they will try to find. Well, no, they'll need twins. They need twins who will look closely to Alistair. And then Peeves. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have Peeves. We have our ghosts, Firenze, Fat Friar. Right, some of the ghosts, goblins. Who's that? Sylvanus Kettleburn. Oh, it's another. He's a professor, right? What is it? Another teacher. Lee Jordan, Katie Bell. Yeah, there is a very high chance, the highest percentage of literally everyone else, like classmates, I mean, all of them, changing cast. I think it happened in movies because at the end of the day, it's hard to, like, kids grow up and then their lives change and then they make different things. So I think it's inevitable, specifically with kids, specifically with the classmates and stuff. But I think they're going to try to keep continuity for the main cast as much as possible. Bam, bam, blam. Wait, are they supposed to be blonde by default? I don't remember that. But Vernon looks just gray hair. Here, at least. So insane how many actors we lost from the original films. It's insane. Sybil. Well, hold on. We don't see Sybil until later, right? Do we see her in the first book? Well, it would be so cool to see the Professor Binns, the ghost. There's so much that we're gonna be seeing in the series that we haven't seen before. Well, I guess Petunia had stronger genes. Well, I guess maybe it made a bit more sense. I don't know. Because Harry is dark haired, then Petunia, they're related, right? And so, and Lily Potter also was like darker hair, not blonde. So I think they did it that way. So the Potter side, the relatives, are darker hair, not blonde, to not mess around with that. And they let the actual Dursley blonde only. I don't know. And I think this time around the kid has blue eyes, but I think Radcliffe has green eyes, doesn't he? Yeah, there were inaccuracies here and there in the films as well from the books, but those are so minor. They're like whatever, you know. Both, you mean, well, Harry Potter has blue eyes. Well, Dan Radcliffe, I think, has green eyes. Dan Radcliffe, oh, he has blue eyes? Oh no, Harry has green eyes. It was the other way around. Okay. It was the other way around. Sorry. Shut up. Green. And this guy is also blue. What am I doing? Well. Again, they might try contacts or just whatever. They have blue eyes. Period. Hey, Nico, how's it going? Nico? Where's Nico? Oh, Nicholas, hi. How you doing? I also wanted to talk about Hogwarts Legacy sequel a little bit, but news-wise, there's nothing much to talk about because it's just silent. Well, they did make a post today. Ho. Ho, 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 ho. About, well, the Switch, because Switch is going to be coming out, but that's about it. Not this one, 5 hours ago. But we have Summer Game Fest, coming up next week. I'll be streaming. I doubt that we're going to be seeing anything. But you guys know me. I like to hang out with y'all and watch for the new announcements. This is around one of different partners. They're going to be part of the Summer Game Fest on Friday. And I don't even see Warner Brothers here. But I don't think they're not supposed to be partners necessarily in order to be present or to be revealing stuff and, you know. Oh, by the way, I just realized that for most of this time I didn't have my fucking face on. Did I? I didn't know that. Whatever. That's fine. When is it happening? Hold on. Partners, blah, blah, blah. Confirmed events next week. Okay, this is that. Ooh, this is cool. Starting in 7 days, 5 hours, 18 minutes, and 41, 40, 39, 38 seconds. Yeah. Whatever. What? I will know it one way or the other. Shush. Okay, so Friday, 2 p.m. PST. Thank the Lord of Gaming. What are we going to have? Excuse me. State of Unreal. June 3rd. Okay, so the Unreal Engine is going to be doing their own thing and at 6 a.m. I'm not doing that. But then 2 p.m. Fest is live from YouTube Theater. Join Jeff Keighley and thousands of fans for a look at what's next in video games. Then June 6th is Day of the Devs. Okay, a look at the upcoming indie games from the non-profit. So that's also that. Okay, so 2 p.m. and then 2-hour show. Then it's an indie fest, same day, only for an hour. And then another one, Ball Pit. Developer Digital presents a captivating showcase dedicated to one developer and one game, Kenny San's upcoming Ball X Pit. Great, fantastic. Then June 7th, Wholesome Direct. On Saturday, Latin American games, showcases, women-led games. We have Southeast Asian. It's all Saturday. And then we have Xbox Games Showcase on June 8th. That's Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Well, all right. That is not too bad. But yeah. It's just usually because of the glitches and stuff like that, I have to start a bit earlier. Anyways, we're Xbox reveals what's next. Well, I'm gonna be for showcases. I usually start like an hour earlier at 9. So Xbox reveals what's next, followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct, and it's at 10 a.m. This is gonna be a long one, I'm telling you. Then Death Stranding 2 showcase, I guess, game premiere at 7 p.m. on Sunday. Hideo Kojima. I haven't played Death Stranding, the first one. Did you guys played it before? Is it good? I heard it's good. I know it's good, but just the idea of carrying a crying baby. That's what I saw from the. Maybe it's not a crying. I'm like, oh no, thank you. So that was like that. The whole thing was like. Not for me. Oh, sorry, Joe. See you next time. Okay. Is it walking, carrying, delivering simulator? All right. Well, now we know what's going on. Now you know what, guys, that I'm going to be seeing you next Friday. Ooh, I like the visuals. It's delivering sim. Okay, that's to some extent I got that, yeah. By the way, talking about new games, there's something I want to mention real quick before I hop out. So I've been reached out by a very, very, very small developer of the game called Near Mage. Let me just pull up Steam. Oh, by the way, Night Rain is live, but because it's co-op, because it's all 3 people, I have 1 person who I can play with, but not 3. And so I'm like, I want to play it so bad because I love Elden Ring, but whatever. So they reached out to me. The game is called Near Mage, and it's developed by 3 people only. Can you believe that? Well, you believe now. No. So there it is. I will show you the trailer in just a little bit, but basically it's like everything is hand animated. All the cutscenes, all the actual gameplay. You basically, I don't know, when I started playing it, I checked it out for a little bit. It gave me like Bob's Burgers vibes, but in the world of magic. So it's really cool. But the thing was, like, I was about to make a video, but as I was playing it, it's fun game. It has its quirks. I think they're interesting ideas, but it's the type of it is not necessarily really my cup of tea. As for video games, the games that I typically like for, that I typically like. But if you guys like indies and you wanna check it out, give it a shot because I think it's really fun for what it is.
Welcome, near mage. To the Transylvanian Institute for Magic.
You're a witch, Alinka.
Here you will study under masters of the arcane and learn to shape reality with spells of your own making.
Take magic seriously.
Ah, what the hell? You only live once.
Forge lasting friendships.
About time you met my coven of witches.
And steadfast alliances. But be warned, these halls hold darker secrets than you know.
I love secrets.
Don't get directly involved in such things.
You two are in way over your heads.
I like a challenge.
There's something rotten in Transylvania.
I don't like this place at all.
And some magic should never be awakened.
Gods are bad news.
Capital B bad.
Will you answer the call to become a near mage?
So not a full mage, but just a near mage. So just again, I wanted to give it a shout out because having all that real hand-drawn animation is freaking insane. So huge props to 3 guys who developed this in Transylvania, actually. So guys, if you're into it, you guys can check it out. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm working on a couple of videos. I need to be playing more mods. Guys, do you have any favorite what's it called? Favorite mods? Or any suggestions for mods that I should try in the video? Fluted glass. Oh yeah, I want to eventually do, I didn't find it. I just, when I changed my background, I went very quote unquote basic with what I had. Well, it wasn't about basic, it was about cheap. But ideally I would love to find something like that and work with it. But I still have to get there. And right now I like this. The one that I have right now, it's just chill. I miss the brick wall. It became a little bit not as practical. But y'all. But you were guys asking about Quidditch Champion. So they're not releasing anything new, unfortunately. I actually played it recently with my brother, and it was fun because see, that's the thing. Quidditch Champions is a game that it's really good, I think, but for me, I only play it time to time. Whenever I feel like high chase flying in the Wizarding World, I go and have some fun, have an hour session, and I'm good for another couple of weeks or a few weeks. The Whomping Willow. I think there has. Since once the competition was over, there were at least 3 or 4 big mods that I've seen coming out, including the Whomping Willow, by the way, and Expecto Patronum mod, a couple of others. There's a lot. Okay. So I'm planning on checking out the Whomping Willow one. I still haven't played it. And I still haven't played fully the Doomland. I tried it once, and then my SSD ran out of space. So I had to like, I decided to record in a different time, and I still haven't gotten to it. But that one seems so much fun and painful. What gameplay features and mechanics do you want in Hogwarts Legacy sequel? Well, for one, I really want to have like a secondary map that is London, which includes, London, regular cities in the Muggle world, and areas, secluded areas of the Wizarding worlds inside London, like Ministry of Magic, Diagon Alley, Licky Cauldron, the platform, right? Maybe some other places. And so have these maps and have the train, the Hogwarts Express as a mechanic. So you have your Hogwarts Valley map, slightly enriched, slightly different maybe from the first game, where you do that stuff. But sometimes you have missions to do in London, and then you go to the train and you travel. You can actually go on the train, have a ride, or have an option to fast travel that part. And you travel to a different map, and that is London, and you do stuff there. I think that is my biggest ask. Because, yeah, that is my biggest desire. I think that will be cool. But in terms of like small things, I think that they will improve combat. I think combat is amazing right now, but I think they will expand upon it. They will improve it. They will add spells. They'll add more fun stuff to do with combat, with your spell crafting, with your spells in general. That's one thing. Another is they will improve, like they will enrich everything. Because my thing was like, for example, brewing potions and ingredients list, the number of potions was rather small. So enriching that would be great. I would like to see stuff like secret Easter egg spells, or just plain secret spells where you, for example, go into a library, find an old book, and you read it and like, oh, this is a spell, and you learn it, and then you know it only because you randomly found this book. Or there's a scribbling somewhere on the wall in some cave, and you can read it, you pronounce it, and then some crazy stuff happens. I don't know, your companion or your friend gets cursed, right? You know, because there are curses and there's different stuff that can happen to you that will have a lasting effect. That would be interesting to see as well. Unpredictable things, you know. But yeah. Wow, I already played 105 hours on PC. I've spent quadruple that, much more than that on PC, on PlayStation, and now here too. Wow. Yes, more beasts. Yes, consequences. Well, I don't know. Well, I would like to have consequences, yeah, but I don't know if I want to have morality. That's the thing. I don't know if I really want to have morality. Like, yeah. But we definitely, there's a guarantee for new locations. There's going to guarantee for new spells, I believe, because they know what we want. The guys who develop the next game in the Wizarding World, they are also the fans of the Wizarding World. And I think we are on the same page of things that will make a compelling story, a compelling experience overall. And they did it first time. It was a big, big success. It was successful launch, considering it was a first game, and now they will go more confidently in the next. And thanks to the job postings and what it looks like is happening, they're working on 2 different games. or 3, or I don't know, at least, well, it says multiple, but multiple, it's at least guaranteed 2. So like a separate multiplayer one or something like that. Yeah, the Wizarding World is expanding. Ever expanding. It's a really good time to be a Harry Potter fan, I think. Yes, Rui. Castle exploration. Just different activities that are meaningful, but at the same time give an opportunity to take in the vibes, do stuff inside, the common rooms, the different classrooms, and get a sense of that. But it's a delicate act of trying to make that happen, but then not becoming boring or dry with certain activities like that. So it's a delicate balance. But visual storytelling and storytelling period is not visual, but like environmental storytelling and the moments that happen in different locations are crucial to make things to bring those locations to life, because those locations that we are so fond of and we love them, they were not just like, they never showed the random just hanging out, sitting and whatever. We saw that, but it was while something else was happening. So it was in context used to take a break from something, or they were, so it's about writing the story that takes us through those moments. And even if it's a spontaneous moment, it better be meaningful and interesting. And of course, we always will have time. Just allowing us to sit will improve it by a ton, because we'll have the ability to just, like people like me who like to just sit in the game and have it there, and me doing other stuff while that's happening. Yeah. So we have that option as well. Well, I already heard about timing, Jonas, Jamie. Not just heard, but there's a say that they've already been filming. I don't know how that is true, but according to this, 1 second. They have already been filming here. It says here, said to be. See? On this location where they go, the Dursleys freak out after the letters. Actual filming has been underway on the Ile de Seine for the past 5 days. In particular on the Tevenke lighthouse. So it looks like, okay, so back to, we were discussing this before, by the way. So this location is where they probably will be filming in general. The filming here has not started yet, but they have been filming on the location that you guys sent me previously of this. In the lighthouse of this island. That's where they have already been filming. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. So that's to answer your question. So things are already moving. It's very likely that they're filming already stuff right now and moving on, because the sets and certain things that we're being shown and told are with a delay. So it's all more or less orchestrated, how they release information, what they release, because even this stuff like this, well, it's not like Wizarding World Direct is now is doing stuff, is they're working for them, but releasing certain images from sources, releasing the cast information, that's part of marketing. Yeah. Yeah, Rui. That's the thing. That is the balance. And I'm that gamer that likes to take my freaking time. I like both. I like intense action. I like high paced. But when I'm ready to go on that high paced ride, I don't want to have it. When it's like okay, I'm ready. But same time, I like to just walk around and do nothing, but at the same time be doing something, you know. And that is also in the design of the game and the storytelling. How do you allow people to do that in a compelling way, where they do feel like they're escaping, where they do feel like they're doing nothing while doing something, if that makes sense. And it's not like everything is just static and just because you can be standing. But yeah, it's a difficult thing to do. But I think some tips, some lessons can be learned from games like God of War, because no matter the side quests, no matter its main story, side quests, if you're just walking around somewhere or notice some kind of tiny little thing, everything is then talked about, discussed, and presented to you almost like. You never feel fully alone. You have the opportunity to take time. There's no like just hanging out in God of War, but I think it does great because it's not even an open world. It's just a sandbox kind of. But it does such a great job at like wherever you go, you're gonna get some information or some lore dive, but it's gonna be told to you, and it's done in a very compelling way. Everything feels so, good and special and well told. So I think that is something to learn from that. And it comes from, partially it comes from the fact that you have characters, the main cast, constantly present with you. There are two. It's not one character who doesn't have anyone to talk to. There's always the main cast, main characters interacting with each other are there. And we follow their story. And so even during the downtimes, then Mimir starts talking about something, or Atreus asks about something, or finds, and there are different interactions. And so you get there just better. And yeah, I think that's where companions would be amazing to have. Oh, okay. Good question, Becky. Back to Hogwarts this year. I think it will be a lot about promoting the Universal at Orlando. I think they will try to release now some more information, maybe potentially a brand new teaser for the series, because we only have one. Maybe we could see something. Well, I don't know. It would make sense. Or maybe a logo reveal, how it will look there, because we just have this. But again, as we talked about aesthetics. But like, I'm just thinking, music also. Are they going to use the original theme? Or how? Because like, also like, I'm going back away from Hogwarts Legacy, which I love to talk about. Every episode will have the moment of intro, right? Well, like the first, like Game of Thrones, they have their own animation. Rings of Power have their own animation, right? Of the title, little intro with music. So like, what's it going to be? Are they going to do the Harry Potter? Like, what's it going to be? Is it going to be just the floating of the logo in that moment, and then the reveal or some animation? Hold on. Like, are they going to do this? Like, is it going to be floating? Are they going to be starting with that theme? I mean, rights-wise, they probably can do that, because it's all Warner Brothers. So they just own the fatherhood of all of it. So it has to continue with it. Whips out. I didn't whip it out. It was always here. You just don't see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope that. Well, to some extent, if the kid's gonna be watching it, they will. Like, for example, I'm guilty of that. I mean, I never talked to actual. What's his face? Oh my god, I'm blanking. What's the name of the actor? I know him. Ah, but never mind. But basically, what's his name? What's his name? Oh my god, Tom Felton. Thank you, Lord. Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, he's the evil guy, most evil guy on the planet. Period. He's the bully. Yeah. Okay, yeah. How would you make it look? Yeah, I want theories. Real quick. We're going to be wrapping up in just a second. In about five-ish minutes, I'm going to be ending it, and I'm going to be. But I want your theories. How you see the animation during? So, like, okay, every episode it starts right. Some things happen. First scene, then interesting moment. We'll go to black, and then let's assume that Hedwig's theme is going to be there, right? But slightly maybe rearranged, right? What are we seeing? I'm going to play it just for a little bit. You guys go for your theories. I'm just curious to see. Like, to me, like, it goes anything. Maybe we see the Harry Potter logo being melted out of metal, or magic swirls like ancient magic in Hogwarts Legacy, or something else. But I want your theories. I want your takes on this. Sorry. Okay. I think the theme opening will change once the castle is shown. Oh. So the first episode might keep it under wraps once it's revealed. Huh. Thank you. Sorry, I messed up a little bit. Well, that's a take. Okay. Well, I think it will be at least changing from season to season. Because, like, but I know what you mean. And it was changing differently because in the first film, we only saw the Warner Brothers logo, and then Harry Potter came out of his skull, right? The lightning was like, and then the second one, actually, the Chamber of Secrets starting the floating of the name, and then the third one solidified because the first two movies, the animation of Warner Brothers logo was regular. No, the second one was two. No, sorry, it was only the Harry Potter name was floating. Then the third one, the WB logo and the Harry Potter logo were both floating, and everything else was floating in the rest, kind of. Amadeus Snow. Hey, we should do a night where just kind of hang out and play music. Because I don't know a lot of Harry Potter, but some Harry Potter songs. Well, songs. No, Supernatural? I haven't watched Supernatural now. Okay, I like that. I like that, Blue. Something similar to the Lumus Maxima, where like an attempt of a spell or magic trying to come out, and then it does in Harry Potter. Okay. Folks the Phoenix? Okay, wait, which one is that? Hold on, do I have it? Hold on. Because I have sheet music here. Let me see if I have it. From which movie is it? This one is my favorite. Well, the Hedwig's theme, and then the second one? Oh yeah, Folks the Phoenix. Wait. Page. Let me see if I can remember by looking at the sheet music. No. Wait. Sixth, eighth, what the? Okay. I'm gonna try it. Sorry. Whenever it talks about music, I'm immediately like, huh? And I go in. And I disappear. All right, well, I think this was good, guys. I think this was fun. I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm very red. Also, something about color correction has changed. Yeah, it looks like. When I look at the 6-8, I'm like, what do you mean? At first. Yeah. Yes, we can do like a chill Hogwarts ambience music. Yeah. We can do that. Not only maybe like it'll be probably a stream where I will get copyright claimed or something like that. Yeah, it's 6/8. Yes, 6/8. But it's all about like figuring out how it sounds. Then I can do it because I play a lot of Muse songs. They screw around with their timings, and it's weird. Sometimes they have 7/8 or 7. I don't remember 7/9. No, never mind. It's just weird. They have weird timings too. Oh, I guarantee you, Becky, that that's going to happen eventually. That is going to happen. Yeah, we'll bring butterbeer. We'll do a butterbeer chill night out. We'll see when we can do that. But yeah, I like that idea. We'll do just a hangout stream. Okay, guys. But for now, I have to go. I have stuff tomorrow. But thank you so much for hanging out. We discussed many things, and I always love doing that. But thank you, the mods, for hanging out as well, making sure the stream is nice and clean. And I hope that there will be no glitches in the future. But guys, again, thank you so much. Have fun. Have a great weekend. I'll see you during the Summer Game Fest on Friday. Cheers. Bye, everybody. Good night. Good day. Good night. Bye.